Hey there guys, Berg here, hope you've been doing well. Welcome to the 9th video of the MTCNA RouterOS version 7 playlist, where we will be taking a look at how we can get configuration backups of our devices, as well as what's the difference between a backup and an export file, and how we can properly manage these files. So let's dive into the video and see how we can back up our configuration on RouterOS. So do you know what the difference is between a MikroTik backup file and a MikroTik export file? If you don't be ashamed. Most people don't know that there are differences even, but I'm here to just give you a little bit of information that there are actually some big differences when it comes between these two different file types. Now the first thing that I want to do is just navigate onto my MikroTik's file system, and what you might not be aware of is that the file system plays a very big role when it comes to working with backups or configurations, or even importing like packages in a previous video, or even custom scripts. Everything will come and live inside of this file system, which is really just the device storage. This is your MikroTik's hard disk or hard drive, or even extended storage where you might have installed an additional disk on it. This is the place where all of these things get saved and stored for us to use as administrators. Now, when it comes to a backup file, I want to stress something from the very beginning. A backup is very useful in order to maybe revert changes to a previous configuration state for a certain MikroTik, for the MikroTik that you've backed up. It is definitely not suggested to take a backup file of a faulty MikroTik that might have broken because of some hardware failure, and then trying to upload that MikroTik's configuration backup file into a new MikroTik, because a lot of the times what people don't know is inside of the backup file, lots of things are tied to your MikroTik, like its MAC addressing and its serial, all kinds of things that we don't really know about. So a backup file is many times not useful to just re-import into a new MikroTik. It might work if you do it on the exact same model, so if you're going from a HAP AX3 to a HAP AX3, but there's definitely still the potential for some issues. This is where we learn about the MikroTik script files or export files, where we can actually pull out the configuration of the MikroTik in a script-like format that we can import into the MikroTik in order to quickly reconfigure things the way that they were, or to move that configuration across to different devices as well. So I think that is just one big main point and difference that I wanted to bring up before we do anything on the MikroTik itself. Now, if we want to make a backup file, it's actually very straightforward. The only thing that we need to do is inside the file system, we can click on the backup action, and then this will just give us a little pop-up. And then from this pop-up, there's a few things that we can do. We can firstly name our backup file, whatever we'd like. So I could maybe call this my MT backup. We can also set a password for it if we do enforce some encryption, and all that means is you'll have to use the same type of encryption and password when you re-import this configuration. It's just more of a safety feature, but if you don't want to do that, you can also click on the don't encrypt bit, and then this will just save this as a plain backup file. So let's do that. Let me just save this as a plain backup file. I'm not going to encrypt it, and once that's done, you will see it gets saved inside the file system. And now I can quickly just download this onto my local machine. So I could just right click on this, click on download, and then I can just say where I want to store this on my local machine, maybe on my desktop. And then if I just navigate onto my desktop, we will see the new my MikroTik backup file. Now I can try and open this file with something like a text editor like Notepad++. And the first thing we'll see is it looks really weird because this is a backup file. This is not really an editable file. This is a custom file type. And now that I've just opened this inside a text editor, even the text editor doesn't really know how to read this or how to make sense of this, because this is MikroTik's business now. This is their file. But this is the interesting bit where we can actually get a quick glance of what this looks like, but it doesn't really affect us as administrators. All that we need to understand now is we have a current backup of the MikroTik in its current state. So if I go back onto Inbox, anything that's currently on this MikroTik, any type of wireless settings or profiles or routing or custom things that have been configured, it will be inside this backup file. And now if I ever had to revert to this specific state, it'd be as easy as just clicking on this restore button if the file's already inside it. If the file does not exist, you could just upload it quickly, and it's really as quickly as just dragging and dropping it from your computer or laptop or something into the file system on Winbox. I'm just doing it now as a live demonstration. And there we can see I've actually pulled this into some directory there, but that doesn't really affect me that much. The main point that I want you to see is if I click on this restore button, we're now able to just restore the MikroTik to this backup configuration state. And it's literally just what's currently on this MikroTik. So if there were any new changes made, we could then safely revert back to this working state in this backup file. Now let's talk about the export function on your MikroTik, what that actually does, how it functions, because many times people ask me, hey, what's the equivalent of show running configuration on a MikroTik device? Because a lot of people come from different vendors like Juniper, like Cisco, and you just want to see what's actually been configured on that MikroTik. It's actually very straightforward. You can just perform an export function inside of the terminal, and it will pop out all of that information as on any of those vendors. And the cool part is you can actually just copy and paste that in a text editor, and you'd be able to actually re-import those commands exactly as they are into any MikroTik in order to just bring configuration across, which is quite useful. Now, how we can access this is I'm just going to go onto my terminal quickly, which is PuTTY, and it's as easy as just typing in export. The moment I hit enter, it's actually going to show me all of the current running configuration on this MikroTik. So I can see there's a lot of default configuration on here as well, but anything that's been added that's running inside of this MikroTik that we might see as custom almost, this will be printed out, and this is stuff that we can copy into a text editor again, and if we really wanted to, we could re-import it into a MikroTik. So let me just showcase this. I'm just going to go into my text editor, open a new window, paste it in. And then this is also a lot more readable for me because now I can go through all of these items one by one and see if there's anything I'm not happy with that I maybe want to re-import into a different MikroTik. I can make those changes here. And it's also very cool that you can kind of use this to create some type of custom templates. But just having this is just going to save this as a text file. So I'd still have to copy this and repaste it into the MikroTik in order for it to actually take effect. This is where we can also now introduce the element of a MikroTik script file or an RSC file. So if I go back onto the terminal, if I type in export and I tab this, we can actually export this as a file. And all this will do is it will save this file in a MikroTik script-like format inside the file system. Now I could maybe call this my MT export. And when I hit enter, this will now just export this as a running configuration in the MikroTik itself. So let's do that. If I go back onto Winbox quickly and I have a look, we can see there is a mymtexport.rsc. So this is a MikroTik script file. It is 10 kilobytes in size. So let me just download this quickly and see what this looks like. So download this to my desktop. And if I just navigate back down to my MikroTik export, if I open this up inside of my text editor, we can see, hey, this kind of looks like what I just copied and pasted. And it actually is. It is pretty much the exact same information, except it does have that software ID in there. It's got a model number and serial number, but you can see those are hashed out. That's not like information that's been added inside of the actual running configuration. But here I can see there's stuff like an interface bridge that's been configured, some interface Wi-Fi stuff's been configured, all of the basic necessities that we need for the configuration to be carried across. However, it is very important to note that it will only export all of the configuration without any sensitive information, without any passwords or anything like that. So if we want to see passwords as well, we could actually do that, which is kind of a double-edged sword because it is a little bit of a security risk as well, but maybe sometimes you have these complex passwords saved inside of the devices and you might have forgotten what it is. Then the MikroTik allows you to export that as well. So if I go inside of the terminal, if I just hit the up arrow key, export file, my MT export, let me just give this the number 2 so I know this is a different file. And if I tab this, we can see there are some extra options. So you do have stuff like the compact and terse, which is kind of the same thing, and that is the default action. It is this output that we see in front of us when we just do a export. Or we could do stuff like verbose, and verbose is very interesting because this will export every little bit of configuration, even stuff that's running in the background that's by default running there on all MikroTik. Stuff that if you do like a show run and it's blank, it's kind of that. It's where you have the blank stuff, but it's showing the blank stuff as well. But I said we maybe want to see passwords, so let's just say show dash sensitive information or show dash sensitive. It used to be with MikroTik where you had to hide the sensitive whenever you exported configuration. However, they've changed it where you now specifically need to state that you want to show the sensitive as well. So let's show the sensitive configuration. And if I navigate back onto the MikroTik, we can see there is the new file, and I can just quickly download that to my desktop as well. And let's just navigate to this file. So my MT export 2, open this up. And let's see, are there any changes? And immediately I can see there's some very interesting changes. I can see there's stuff like a passphrase for my Wi-Fi, which is there, which is catchphrase, exclamation mark. Catchphrase. We can now actually see the password. And if we copied and pasted this to a new MikroTik, it would actually set up this whole profile with the correct password so that it can automatically broadcast these AP settings to the clients, and they can just connect to the same SSID. They wouldn't even be the wiser. Kind of a security concern again if we think about it. But here I can even see I've got a triple PoE client that I added, and this client doesn't exist. This is just a test client, so I could showcase that it does show these passwords. So there I've got a password. Is this password secure? Question mark, with the user being the network berg. So here we can see we've actually been able to pull out some sensitive information as well in order to have this full configuration backup. But we need to understand we need to use this with care. This isn't something that I just recommend doing whenever you want. Don't just show sensitive configuration and share it around the internet if you have sensitive information that you don't want people to see, because you are potentially going to open yourself up to some potential trouble down the line. Alright, so this is just how the configuration file looks. But what's interesting is you can actually import these RSC files inside of your MikroTik. So if I go back onto Winbox and I open up the terminal, actually I can just do it from my terminal editor in Putty. So instead of an export, you could do an import, and now you can specify the file name, and I could make this myexport2.rsc, and when you hit enter, it will actually import this file in the script-like format so that I don't need to copy and paste everything and potentially have some issue with the caching, or I don't copy everything around properly. I could just hit enter, it will just import it, and here we can see it's even telling me it can't import it because the interface name already exists, which is quite nice because this will be a nice segue into the next video where we can then talk a little bit about factory resetting our MikroTiks, and then we can potentially also just see what a re-import of that looks like inside the factory reset. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and then I'll catch you in another video shortly. See ya. Bye.